Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good morning. Good afternoon and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there, enjoying your day, making it wonderful, making it positive, enjoying your Friday. It is Friday nonetheless, y'all. Friday nonetheless. I got this story, this information to give you guys really quick before your weekend starts on and popping. Let me just tell you, if you see the title down below, do not rub your eyes. This is not a mirage. This is not a vision that you're having. No, your mind is not playing tricks on you, ghetto boys. All right. This is real and really mind-blowing. Okay. I got a couple things. Woke up this morning didn't realize that today was the day that the five former officers that were involved in taking the life of this young man, Tyre Nichols, 29-year-old Tyre Nichols, didn't realize that they were going to be in court today. Totally slipped my mind. Woke up this morning, saw a live feed of the news covering their first court appearance today. And yes, no lie, these mother lovers pled not guilty. Yeah, I said it. Yeah. Unbelievable, y'all. My mind is still blown about this. Okay? They pled not guilty, yet you see them clear as day. Well, not clear as day, but caught in 4K doing this unthinkable act. And more officers as well. Not only just the five. Okay, they say that there's now up to 15 officers, including the five, involved in this whole thing, which is absolutely disgusting. Okay? All right. Now, Jamie just said, it's a constitutional right to plead not guilty. Well, let me say this, Jamie. Still, they're caught red-handed doing unthinkable things to this young man. I'm sorry. Constitutional right or not, they guilty. Period, point blank. All right? Don't care if it's a constitutional right. They took that man's constitutional rights when they chased him down and took his life against his own will. All right? Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Ain't that what it is? Life. First and foremost. And they rid that right from that young man. So to me, I don't care about a constitutional right here, baby. We know what's right and what is wrong. They guilty. So we're gonna get into this. This is unbelievable, mind-blowing stuff to me. All right. So please do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. Crush it. Make it go past 300 likes as you guys start to file in. This is not a joke. This is real. And understandably, yes, I get it. Of course, they're going to go in there and plead not guilty. Of course they are. Okay. We'll talk about that in a second. But it's still mind-blowing nonetheless that they did anyway. All right. And please, if you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe button. You know your boy's working hard out here in these streets to give you guys the information and the stories that you need for the day. I am still shocked about this. I'm sorry. I'm still shocked. So we got to get into this. All right. Like, I'm shocked. I am shocked, but then I'm not shocked. It's weird, guys. It's hard to explain. You know, Jamie ain't wrong. Jamie ain't wrong with their comment. Okay, Jamie's not wrong. It is their constitutional right. That's absolutely right. But it's still the constitutional rights that they rid this man of. Seriously, I feel outweighs any of the BS, any of the their constitutional right. They're caught on 4K taking this young man's life. He was held against his will. He was attacked viciously by multiple police officers. Multiple. Now, I'm not surprised, okay, about this not guilty plea, because I kind of expect that from dirty evildoers. I'm just going to say that. Okay, so let's take a look at this title here really quick. All right. Lawyer for one of the Memphis police officers charged with Tyre Nichols' demise plays the race card, saying, let's not forget my client is a black man in America. What the hell? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh at that. I'm going to laugh at that because that's just sad. This is the time. Let me tell you something. When you take the life, sorry, let me finish the sentence. Let me finish this title. Let me repeat this one more again. I am not joking here. This is a real title. And this is what one of his lawyers said. What? One more again. Let me try to do this with a straight face. I'm going to try. Lawyer for one of the Memphis police officers charged with Tyre Nichols' demise plays the race card, saying, let's not forget, my client is a black man in America. As all of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plead not guilty to M. Are you serious? Like, I haven't even gotten into the article, and we got some video, and we also have the family speaking out. They did a press conference literally about 30 minutes ago. So we are going to be listening to that as well. But you have got to be kidding me. What in God's name makes any lawyer think that they can just pull out the race card in this particular situation, especially when it's a cop or a man that is caught? Forget his title, forget his position in this world, forget that he's a public servant, forget that he's there to serve and protect, forget all that ish. Forget all of it. Let's strip it all the way down to the bare bones. This is another man, another human being taking someone else's life, caught on camera. And yet they go, race card, let me throw that in real quick. Sa? Why? Again, why? Why would they pull that out? I'm sorry, that's grasping at straws. That's grasping at straws. No, it's the other way around, but at the same time, this is just ridiculous. All right, I got a super chat really quick. Official ambassador of mulatto race, of the mulatto race. Thanks so much for the 2. How can I tell if my turtle is what? I don't know, bro. I don't know. Figure that out. Good luck. All right. But thanks for the 2. But anyway, as I was saying, all right, this is ridiculous. All right. So let's go into a little bit of this article. We're not going to show the whole thing because we're going to go into the actual event because I have the whole live up here. So I want to show you guys that as well. All right. Gotta love them trolls though. All right. So the 5 Memphis police officers who attacked Tyre Nichols before his demise appeared in court today to plead not guilty to M and other charges. As an attorney for one suggested he was being unfairly prosecuted as a black man in America. I'm sorry, I don't mean to pause on that so much, but every time I see this, I'm just like, what? I'm what? But okay. There are so many other moments where, yes, being a black man in America, that it makes sense. You know, it's tough out here for the black community. It's tough out here to be a black man in America. But when you are the one wearing the badge, you're the one with everything. You're the one who is going after and using excessive force on another black man. So I'm still trying to understand, and I'm still asking and begging for people to make it make sense for me. Like, where would this lawyer pull this card out his own ass to try to justify this one of the many cops wrongdoing, doing something so malicious? Like, that makes no sense. Real quick, I got another super chat. Hopefully it's not about turtles. But S Dubs, what's up? Thank you so much for the 5. I'm painfully white. I'm sick. I'm sick hearing they pulled the race card. M is still taking a life. I'm upset for Tyree. This is not okay. I agree. Okay. It's ridiculous. Okay. It's ridiculous. Okay. And race definitely is something that is very prominent within in this country, within the world, and all that. But in this instance, to me, the only thing I point out is that, yes, it was very quick that they were the 5 that were thrown out. They were arrested and all that. It was quick. And I've talked about this before. Okay, the turnaround was hella quick. Any other cops we've seen on other occasions and other hashtag justice for situations, a lot of them are at home before they are even brought in, brought in with charges and all that. They'll sit there for weeks. Take George Floyd, for example. This is real. This happened to Tyree. It was a very short turnaround. Okay? Very short. And then they throw their faces out there for real with the quickness. They block everybody else, but they were very quick to get those 5 out like that. All right? Period. All right? So that part I get. But this is not, oh, wait. This is unfair because he's a black man in America. No, you did a very, very bad thing, a very unthinkable thing. You took the life of somebody and it was caught on camera. Doesn't matter if this was a white cop or a black cop, Asian, Latino, it does not matter. What you did is wrong, and you should pay the price for what you did wrong. I got a couple super chats here. IMF, thank you so much for the 2. Regardless of race, this is wrong. Absolutely. You're basically echoing what I'm saying here, too. Mimi, thank you so much for the 95 CHF. I really do appreciate the super sticker. I can prep too. Thank you so much for the 10 Canadian. What's up? Media tried to paint the scenario. This was all caused by white supremacy. Might be anticipating that as something they will argue. Gave them a lack of accountability, white man's fault somehow. Well, that is a very, very, very sticky conversation that we could get into. But I see what you're saying there, and I do think that there is still elements of that. It is still the police department. It is still something that's ingrained in every single last cop. I think that there is a difference between blue and other races. That's what I think. I do believe that. It's not just black on black crime. It is blue on black, blue on white, blue on whatever. That's what I believe. because it's a whole department, as we've already covered multiple times on this show. And within this department, at least, there is a culture that has been that has been ingrained in the DNA of the Memphis PD. And it starts all the way from the top, all the way down to the bottom, all the way down to those hopefuls that are trying to become cops, like a Preston Hemphill, like a Horde 26, all right? And all the way up to the top with Chief CJ Davis. It starts from the top all the way down. It is a full-on culture and mentality and procedures and policies that are done under the table that has been ingrained throughout that entire department. That whole entire department is dirty, in my personal opinion. And that in it, the whole thing should be, what's the word? They need to hit the reset button, in my personal opinion. That's what they need to do. Okay. And I ain't saying defund. I ain't saying that at all. All I'm saying is there needs to be some restructuring. Okay. Management needs to start restructuring. Real talk. And find the good cops, keep those good cops there, and get rid of the bad. Period. But what's interesting is that we're now finding out 2 more cops have been relieved of duty in connection to this monstrosity of an event that we've recently seen as well. Talvish, thank you so much for the 2. Not guilty is a slap in the face to the family. Absolutely. I agree, Talvish. And what's up, man? The official, this whole BLM thing is exaggerated, in my honest opinion. I don't know which way you're talking about there. But thanks for the $2 super chat, because I don't know exactly what you mean by that, but we're going to keep it moving. Okay. All right. But I do believe, all right, that I'm not sitting here saying the defund thing. Nah. Okay. We need police out here. There's a lot of great cops out here. All right. I want to make that abundantly clear. I know back in the day, it was very polarizing to say, oh, I believe that there's good cops out here. But I feel that we are all smart, even-minded people, right? Diplomatically speaking and critical thinking people that realize that, hey, when ish goes down, when bad things go down, when you have somebody who's trying to rob you or attack you or something like that, who do you call? You call the police, all right? You don't call the guardian angels or something like that. You call the cops, right? There are good cops out there. Just unfortunately, in Memphis, it seems like good cops are few and far between. And there needs to be a restructuring of things, period. A restructuring. All right. But let's continue. So we already know the 5, okay? And so all 5 and their lawyers appeared with their lawyers. Sorry, all 5 and their lawyers appeared before a judge in Shelby County, okay? In Shelby County, in Memphis, Tennessee. They have all pleaded not guilty on charges of second-degree M and manslaughter and will return to court in May. The officers were caught on camera, obviously we already know, taking the life or savagely attacking Tyre Nichols while arresting him for what they claimed was reckless driving. And again, we have already seen and heard about the claims that they put into the reports that have that don't even add up to what we've seen in the body cam footage. Clearly, they show us that they straight up lie, and that is it. Straight up lie, and that is it. I will get to the other super chats here in a second. I got to get the story and the show moving, okay? But clear that they have been lying. And the department and other members of the department, all right, are helping them cover these things up as well. Pretty wild, guys. Now, we already know that Nichols passed 3 days after this attack. So outside the court, well, we're going to be looking at a couple things, but outside the court, let me pull this up. The attorney for Desmond Mills Jr., one of the cops, told reporters that he was innocent and shouldn't be wrongfully convicted of M. Get the hell out of here. Much has been said about how the system has failed Mr. Nichols. I will work to make sure that the system does not fail Mr. Mills. Now, I get it that Blake Ballins, his attorney, here are all five, showing up to their own little party. But I can see that the lawyer is going to do his thing, right? He's going to do his damn job. All right. His job is to protect and defend his client. So he's going to say these things. I just wonder if he can sleep well at night. Real talk. How could he sleep at night protecting people like this, like these five? And then some. You got to remember, there's 10 other officers. It's a collective of about 15 cops that were involved in this situation. 15, just to make sure you hear me correctly. Not 50, not 1, 15. All right. The nation's heart is filled with grief. These emotions should be channeled into the way we police our communities. My client is a black man in a courtroom in America. This is a country where black people are 7 times more likely to be wrongfully convicted of M than white people. What? I see I see the point, but he's using facts on something that has nothing to do with that fact. Do you see what I'm saying? Nothing to do with that fact. Much has been said about how our system has failed Mr. Nichols. I will work to make sure the system does not fail. We already said this stuff. Justice for Mr. Nichols will not be achieved at the expense of justice for Mr. Mills. I implore the public to be patient and cautious. He refused to answer questions about the video of the attack. Ahead of today's hearing, Nichols' mother told CNN she wanted the officers to see her face. It is time for the family. It is the first time the family's coming face to face with the 5 cops. Now let me say this. You're telling me that, because we got to go back to this quote that he said. Like, the hell, let's look at this part, okay? You're taking a statistic, or you're taking this statistic. You're pulling this out your own butt, and you're going, hey, oh, this still applies to my client because he's been wrongfully accused of M. Do you realize that what has been seen on camera is the smoking gun? It's a wrap, son. It's a wrap, baby. It's a wrap. But you're literally pulling out the race. Like, this is unbelievable. You're pulling out the race card on someone that had a hand at taking the life of a young person, another black man. And now you're saying, oh no, because of his race, we're putting him on the chopping block, or the world is putting him on the chopping block and putting him on display for everyone to see because he's a black man in America. No, in this particular situation, this is a person that attacked another man on the corner of a street at night with a couple of his other buddies and viciously attacked this young man. And the fact that these people are trying to sit here and say, oh, I didn't do. No, it is. He's being wrongfully accused. Please make that make sense. Do you even realize that they're basically trying to make it seem like it's as if this guy is standing in the middle of the road, standing over the remains of a human being, his whole body, face, everything covered in red. He's holding the weapon, also dripping in red. He's screaming at the cops as they're coming to arrest him, saying, I did it. I did it. Thank God I did it. I hated his ass, right? And it's all caught on tape. Him confessing it, him actually doing the act, all that. And you still have the lawyer for that person saying, oh, no, he didn't do it. No. He's wrongfully accused. No, see, what had happened was that red that was on his body, all over his face and on that knife, yeah, that was ketchup. And yeah, he just showed up at that particular moment, just surprised that this person was on the ground, just on the floor in the middle of the road. So please, somebody make that make sense. You have a smoking gun piece of information that shows the whole act, body cam footage that shows everything. And these all 5 lawyers, this is not the only lawyer. All 5 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all 5 lawyers are sitting here saying that they're being wrongfully accused and having them plead not guilty. Make it make sense, guys. Make it make sense. Somebody else just said something before I go into these super chats. Yes, Raven McCall. They were even taking off their body cam, talking off camera, talking about haymakers and all that. Okay? Exactly. See, I like you guys using these emojis. The members, thank you. Rocking out on these emojis. Yeah, if members, if you think him guilty, okay, put in the him guilty emojis in the chat. I would really appreciate that, okay? But my Lord, all right, the fact that they are grasping at straws, and then of course trying to, in a way, tug at the heartstrings of Black America, okay, by saying, oh, no, he's a black man in America, so you're putting him on the chopping block. How dare you attack this man? He innocent, but now he's the black man, in court in America. When he's standing there contributing to what ended up taking this young man's life, that lawyer needs to get fired because he done mucked that up. That's just what I think. But I got a couple super chats. Let me grab these really, really quick. Where did it go? They were right here. Okay, Tyler, thank you so much for the 2. I'm saying defund. Training won't solve this. I don't know. I mean, that's your opinion. I don't think so. I think that there's a way of changing things, putting in policy, and I think there's also ways of having good people run things rather than corrupt people. I mean, that's just my personal opinion, but that's my personal opinion. I guess I'm on the side of there's way of reforming. There's way of changing things for the better. Okay? But yeah, I digress. Let's continue. Kooky Cat, thank you so much for the 5 pounds. Hi, Pascal. Regardless what we wear or color of our outsiders, we have red running in our veins. Absolutely. When are humans going to realize that we are all the same? That Kooky Cat, I'm wondering the same thing. I am wondering the same thing. Mimi, thank you so much for the 150 CHF. I appreciate that. I'm wondering the same thing. Okay, Kooky. Because it's going to be a lot of work for us to officially change, I think. Okay? It's going to take a lot of work. Unfortunately, these are things that have been ingrained in all of us for centuries. Unfortunately, the only way we're going to change those things is if we make the conscious decision to make those changes as a collective. Because you can only have, you can change. I can change my own mind or the way I think of somebody because of the color of their skin and all that. But then what about the guy five people down the road, right? 5 people down the line. And then their prejudice, race, etc., going after somebody else, then of course it's still a constant reminder of that kind of stuff, that racism still exists around the whole world. I mean, there are class systems in other countries because based solely on how dark one's skin is, right? It's insane. But the only way that we would be able to actually do that is if that is a collective movement. It's that if we all get together and make that decision as one. Just sad. S Dubs, thank you so much for the 2. Are they holding the EMS people accountable? That's a good question. I know that they've been fired, but I have not heard anything about them catching charges as of yet. But of course, if there's any charges, I will let you know. The official ambassador, all right, sorry about the silly comment. Although I care for my turtle, this is for the entertainment for your show, Stuck in Traffic in Miami. Well, if you're stuck in traffic in Miami, you may not want to be texting while driving. So be careful. But I appreciate the $5 super chat. All right. But I'm trying to stay on topic with this show. All right. And good luck with your turtle, too. That's some serious ish. Sam L., thank you so much for the... That's a serious question, man. Sam L., welcome to becoming a member. Welcome. Thank you so much for becoming a family member. I really do appreciate your support. And just like Sam L., you can become a member too just by hitting that join button down below. Support the channel if you can. That would be greatly, greatly appreciated, okay? Mimi, again, thank you so much for the 195 CHF. I do appreciate that. Again, Mimi, again, thank you so much for the 95 CHF. All right. So again, pretty ridiculous, what we're seeing, what we're hearing, and all of that. But there are some pieces here that I wanted to share with you guys as well that kind of give us, hold on, let me get this together. Because there is this press conference here. There is this press conference here that I wanted to show you guys. And again, they have all shown up, pled not guilty, y'all. They pled not guilty. To me, yes, it's shocking, but it's not. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm shocked. I'm thoroughly shocked. But then at the same time, I'm not. Because we live in a world where, yes, as Jamie said, it's their constitutional right to plead not guilty. But there are people out here that are crazy enough to think that they can get away with M. So this is going to be a very interesting trial because I'm really wanting to see what their argument is. All 5 of these lawyers, what are their arguments? What is the narrative that they are going to spin to make it seem like, oh, no. It wasn't the fists and the kicks and the baton that they used on him that took his life. It was some other random medical issue that he had. So technically, it wasn't this, that, and the third. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for them to find some weird BS excuse and trying to ride that till the wheels fall off. And then that narrative is going to go out there and everybody on the right or left or whatever is going to sit there and try to use it as an argument piece. We're going to see another Candace Owens get on to her podcast or her platform talking about some BS because of some drug that took this man's life. It wasn't the knee on the neck. It was the drug. I'm so tired of it. And now it feels like they're trying to go down that route too. And I am not here for it. I'm telling you right now, I am not here for it. But let's hear what the family has to say here. All right. I'm sick of those excuses. They took this man's life. We saw this all on tape. We saw it. So don't feed me none of this nonsense. Don't. But wait for it, because now they're sitting there going, "Oh, I'm not guilty." And they're going to try to find some random angle and try to move the goalpost. Watch. Hit the number 1. Let me know you guys can hear this too.
Okay. Is everyone ready? Okay. Good morning. I'm Attorney Ben Crump, along with Attorney Tony Raminucci, Judge Ernestine Doyce, and Attorney Van Turner, who's also the president of the NAACP chapter here in Memphis, Tennessee. Kareem Ali, my investigator, and our legal team. We have the honor of representing the family of Tyre Nichols. Present with us is his family members, in particularly his mother, Rovon Wells, and his father, Rodney Wells, who will give very brief statements this morning in the aftermath of the arraignment of the 5 officers that have been indicted for the murder of Tyre Nichols. Also, it's important to note that this was very emotional, and there were a lot of things that were not said in the courtroom today in the proceeding, but it was a very informative day as we move closer to justice. And our legal team and the family of Tyre Nichols wish to express gratitude to District Attorney Steve Mulroy, Paul Hagerman, and the entire District Attorney's team, who is charged with prosecuting this matter on behalf of Tyre Nichols, as they do with every citizen in this jurisdiction. We are again relieved that they have given information to try to dispel some of these rumors and innuendo that we keep being bombarded about, that somehow this was something personal. No, we are aware that there were photographs that were taken and none of them were sent to all of these rumors that are out there in the social media world. The family is dealing with enough grieving the death of Tyree and their brave fight for justice than to have to deal with all these salacious rumors.
Real quick, so he now is saying that the rumors are not, he's saying that the rumors that are going around here about these photos being taken and all that, and it being, of course, about that maybe Tyree was having some sort of relations with one of the cops' ex or current lovers, the mother of the children, or ex-wife or ex-girlfriend or girlfriend or wife. We don't know that part at all. But it's interesting that he is right now saying this right now, being like, okay, the BS that's being, that's floating around here about this is not true. It's all this salaciousness and all that stuff. I don't know why he's saying this right now. We just know for a fact that there were photos. This is actual true fact, and fact on fact that one of the cops, Demetrius, walked over, took photos. Demetrius Haley walked over, took photos, and sent that to 6 different people, including a regular civilian that happens to be female. We don't know if that has anything to do with we don't know if there's anything about that, but I do find it interesting that he's taking this opportunity right now to address this right now. I get it that he's probably he has to, because that's information. They don't want to tarnish young Tyree's name. All right. But at the same time, saying it now, I don't know. It's just very interesting that he's talking about it now. But let's continue.
I know in George Floyd, they had to deal with them talking about Chauvin knew somebody who George Floyd knew, and that was the reason he kept his knee on his neck. And then in Botham Jean's case, who was killed in the apartment by the white policewoman, they alleged that they were having some kind of affair, which all were bogus and untrue. And just like with Tyre Nichols, all these rumors that are circulating are bogus and untrue, because we have the text messages. The prosecutors have been able to verify exactly who those pictures were sent to. And so what we want to remain laser focused on is getting justice for Tyre Nichols and being able to define the legacy of Tyre Nichols. And the people who are most appropriate to do that is his mother and their family.
Real quick, I do want to say this. I'm sorry for going in and out of this, but this is kind of inspiring me to say some things. He's absolutely right. Whether there's salaciousness involved in this, whether there is an extramarital affair or a cheating scandal going on and all this, that has nothing to do with innocence or guilt within this particular case. They still took the life of this young man. Doesn't matter if he was out here slanging the D, going crazy. Doesn't matter. It does not matter. This was an unarmed black man. This was an unarmed man that was viciously attacked by multiple cops. So whether he was Casanova out here, all right? Shoot. Whether he was Casanova out here or not, does not justify what these cops ended up doing to this young man. So, yes, the only thing that it does show, the photos being sent and all that stuff, and if this was a planned attack, if those rumors, that part of those rumors are true, then some of these cops deserve an upgrade from second to first. Because then it shows proof positive that this was premeditated. This was planned ahead of time. That's the only reason why, for me at least, that's the only reason why I give a damn about why those photos were sent out. If there really is something salacious going on, if there was an extramarital affair or a cheating thing going on, that's the only reason why I give a damn about it. I don't care, because no matter what, this young man should still be on this planet alive. Period. Point blank. And that's why I feel, for me, why I'm so focused on it. And I think that's why everyone else should be focused on if those rumors are true or not. Okay. But of course, we're hearing it from Benjamin Crump himself. He's saying that these rumors, at least that part of the rumor, are not true. But I'm going to sit back and wait. Maybe there's something that Crump doesn't fully know. Maybe he doesn't. Remember, I want to point this out too before I continue this. One small reminder. Remember, they didn't even have, and I don't even know if they still have gotten it yet. There's over 20 hours of content, video content, that the family didn't even know existed until last week when I reported it. And even Crump himself was like, we didn't even get it. Dang, we didn't even have it. We thought, me and the family thought that the footage that you guys gave us was all that there was. So if they didn't even know about that, and they're still, at least from my knowledge right now, still trying to get those 20 plus hours of content, Who's to say that they're holding more information, like maybe some salaciousness, maybe confirming that there was some sort of affair or relations going on, which sparked this attack on this young man? Just saying out loud, we just don't know everything as of yet. But let's continue here, guys.
So you're going to hear from Rodney Wells, and then we're going to introduce Rovon Wells to talk about
Dang, hold on, guys.
how
Okay.
they felt and why they had to be here today
Don't forget to hit that like button
for
down
this
below.
arraignment of the former Memphis police officers who are charged with murdering Tyre Nichols. And I think it's important to note that even though we want everybody to get due process, we are champions for equal justice and due process. But as Police Chief Davis said, Judge Doyce, it's important that we take swift action. It's important that we move swiftly towards justice. So we don't want there to be any unnecessary delays in prosecuting this case with respect to everybody having their day in court. Those officers get to have their day in court, but my guy, Rovon Wells and Rodney Wells get to have their day in court, and we don't want this to be forever. We got video. When people in our community do something on video, it don't take a long time to prosecute them, right, Attorney Turner?
That's right.
It don't take a long time. And so first you will hear from Mr. Rodney Wells, the father of Tyre Nichols.
Hi, everybody. My name is Rodney Wells. I had to be here today to make sure that justice gets done for our son. This is a glorious day. This is the beginning of the process. So, statement's going to be very short, and I'm just glad to be here. Our family's glad to be here, and I appreciate everybody coming out.
Thank you, Mr. Wells. And now you will hear from Tyree's mother, Miss Rovon Wells.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. As my husband stated, this is the beginning of the process. We're going to be here at every court date so that they can know that we're here. They need to, I don't know. I feel, it's funny because I feel very numb right now. I feel very numb. And I'm waiting for this nightmare, basically, that I'm going through right now. I'm waiting for somebody to wake me up, right? I'm really waiting for somebody to wake me up. But I also know that's not going to happen, okay? I know my son is gone. I know I'll never see him again. But we have to start this process of justice right now. And I want each and every one of those police officers to be able to look me in the face. They haven't done that yet. They couldn't even do that today. They didn't even have the courage to look at me in my face after what they did to my son. So they're going to see me at every court date. Everyone.
Exactly.
And until we get justice for my son.
Amen. Hello.
And so, yes.
And note the choice of words that Rovon used as she told Judge Dorsey and us, they didn't have the courage to look me in my face. Not dignity to look me in my face, because when you look at the video, there was no dignity there. But they didn't even have the courage to look at her in her face. And that's what she came to the courtroom to see today. Them look her and her face eye to eye. How could you do this to my son? Okay.
What did you
No. Wait. Are you finished?
Yes.
Okay. All right. We'll take a few questions.
What did you think when you heard the words "not guilty"?
Well, sir, they're going to say that. You know, that's a procedure that everyone's going to say and do. I'm going to leave it up to the district attorney's office and to get them prosecuted and everything, and then they'll find them not guilty. They'll find them guilty, I should say. So them saying they're not guilty, that's a preliminary thing. Everybody's going to say that. And I was expecting it, so it wasn't nothing new.
Okay. Judge Ernestine Dorsey is going to make some remarks before we continue the questions. Judge Dorsey is
retired Judge Ernestine Hunt Dorsey, and let's not get me out of place, because I want you to know that the process is the process, and I'm about transparency. So that's the first thing I had to tell you. I was retired, but it's good to see the country and the state still interested in what's happening in our community, and especially in the prosecution of this case, because this case is the case that's pretty much going to be a cornerstone. Mm-hmm. You know, when the builders start rejecting stones, but this is going to be a cornerstone that the builders would not be able to reject. Mm-hmm. So that is what I see, and the process is.
Yeah.
Can you lay out what you think the next year will be in terms of this case? So the next hearing is in May, and then what is the next?
I can only do it. I mean, I've been a trial lawyer, and I can tell you the process. It's not as swift. It's not as swift as the indictment, but the indictment was the most important thing to get the wheels of justice to truly roll. Mm-hmm. And so this is going to be processed, and it's not necessarily going to be held up by trying to slow the process. It's just how time is. And so most criminal cases don't come to trial, and I'm assuming this is going to go to trial. Mm-hmm. That can't tell you how long, but it's not going to be at the end of this year.
Steve, we know, like in George Floyd's case and Ahmaud Arbery's case, that there may be federal charges brought here. And so we want there to be full justice. And so as we look at the process on the state, we understand, just like in George Floyd, there may be federal charges contemplated that may be announced, and then they would take a parallel course. But we know in George Floyd's tragic killing that those officers were prosecuted within the year. So the hope is that we have a blueprint going forward on all these tragedies. Before we take any other questions, Attorney Van Turner, would you like to give a remark?
Yeah.
Interesting.
We again want to thank Ms. Robon Wells for her courage, Mr. Rodney Wells for his courage.
Of course, Priya.
It takes a lot
Aye.
to sit there in the courtroom and to face individuals who took actions that they did not have to take. Nothing that evening that we saw, that you saw, provoked them to do what they did to Tyre Nichols. And here we have a family, we have a son that's lost a father, and we just, we feel their pain, and we're going to be here with them throughout the way. But let's also understand that this case is going to be a landmark decision, but it also needs to lead to policy. Mm-hmm. How do we stop this from happening again? The state needs to pass the Tyre Nichols Police Reform Act.
Amen.
Yes.
We need the governor to sign the bill. Yeah. The governor, Bill Lee, needs to stand up for this family. We want the thoughts, we want the prayers, but we want action.
Amen.
We want this bill passed right now. The Tyre Nichols Police Reform Act. We want them to withdraw the bill to get rid of CLERB. Mm-hmm. The Citizen Law Enforcement Review Board is what we have. That's the citizens' eyes over law enforcement. Right. The police can't continue to police themselves.
Yes.
So if we are really serious about justice for Tyree, we want to make sure that there's a swift prosecution and that these guys serve the time for what they did, and we want to make sure that there's swift action at the Tennessee legislature with passing this bill, and we want them to immediately withdraw the bill that would undo CLERB right now, today.
Yes.
We want them to withdraw that bill because that's the citizens' eyes over law enforcement. We're going to continue to pray for this family, and we're going to continue to say justice for Tyree.
Justice for Tyree.
Thank you so much, President Turner, for your leadership. You good?
I'm good.
Okay.
Mr. Vaughn, since January 7th, your life has been completely upended. Your family's been scrutinized. The whole world has been watching your family. But you've responded with grace and compassion that you owe no one. So I wanted to ask you, what's holding you together right now? What is sustaining both you and Mr. Wells?
Well, the only thing
I know what happened there. Come on.
I could tell you is the prayer. I have people reached out to me from all over the world. I have received sympathy cards from people that I don't even know. People are praying for our family. God is what's holding us up. And the fact that, again, I have to always keep in mind that my son was sacrificed for the greater good. That's what's holding me up, and that's what's keeping me together. And the fact that I do have 3 other children that I have to stay strong for, because if I break down, then they're going to break down. So me being a mother, I have to stay as strong as I can for my other children.
Amen. Yes, ma'am. And then we'll come to you. Certainly, the video speaks for itself.
Mr. Trump, you mentioned the photographs that were taken from the scene. Police Chief Davis has said they've been shared with other people. You said the prosecution talked to you about those photographs. Do you know who those photographs were shared with?
Apparently, this isn't the first time that particular officer has done this, but we just want to dispel the rumors that the family were being bombarded with, and they didn't want to have to deal with that additional trauma and drama. So we want to clear that up once and for all.
Do you know who they were?
We do not, but they know. Yeah.
Can you elaborate on the findings of your independent autopsy results, specifically related to any substances being in Tyree's body that those officers are to?
No, we don't have the toxicology yet, but we feel confident that Tyree was not under any kind of intoxication or anything like that. You know, Miss Ravon and Rodney, they know Tyree and what kind of person he was. Who Tyree was what you saw in that video. While everybody else was escalating it, you
Come on.
using excessive force, Tyree was de-escalating, trying to do everything in his power to remain calm. That's who Tyre Nichols was.
Exactly.
Actually, that also, piggybacking off of that, we know that the incident report that was authored that night does not line up exactly with reality. One of those quotes from that report says that the officers came in contact with you that you thought your son's drink might have been spiked. Was that a fabrication?
Taken out of context.
Something taken out of context.
And so the prosecutor will deal with all of that.
Yeah, I can't go any further with it, but it was taken out of context.
Completely out of context. Completely taken out of context. We think that from the beginning it was a conspiracy to cover up this murder.
Yes.
The city has said that it's going to release more video and recordings. Are they going to offer you to see those first?
Yes, they did. They did say that. We don't know when, but they said they would, out of respect for the family, they would let them see and hear the videos.
Then should Preston Hemphill, the 6th officer who was at the scene when Tyree was first stopped, should he face charges?
Well, certainly Miss Ravon Wells is asking that question, and so it is our hope that every officer who had anything to do with the death of her son will be held accountable, and we will leave that for the prosecutors.
Mr. Crump, what is the timing of any civil litigation against the city of Memphis?
Well, we're trying to get the completed autopsy report in our hands, but we will be seeking full justice for Tyre Nichols. That is criminal culpability, civil accountability, and as my co-counsel Van Turner said, policy. We want legislative action, because getting justice for Tyree isn't about just having accountability of these officers. It's about trying to prevent anybody else from being killed in this manner. One last question, ma'am.
Mr. Crump, you said that you saw the text that went along with the picture.
No, I didn't see the text. They told us about the text, and they told us that all of this stuff that is rampant out there on social media is completely untrue. It's bogus, and they know that the text messages who they went to had nothing to do with all this stuff that you all have been hearing on social media, and some of you have reported. And the only reason that they thought it was important, and I think it's important to speak to it, so they will quit harassing the family over this ancillary matter, has nothing to do with the reason why this happened to Tyre Nichols. This Scorpion unit had a pattern and practice of doing this to black people in Memphis. That's it. You don't need to go no further than that. We talk about these special police units or these proactive policing, and they do this stuff in marginalized communities of color, where they trample on the constitutional rights and human rights of black and brown citizens. They don't do that in the white communities to white citizens. That is why Tyre Nichols was killed, because of this excessive force policing of black citizens. Thank you.
Mr. Crump, I live in the city of Memphis. A lot of Memphians are concerned that these officers are still on the street. A lot of these officers are still on the street.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, they've been rearranged. What do you?
Okay. You were just hearing from Attorney Ben Crump, the family of Tyre.
So, yeah, I mean, as you can see there, I mean, of course, family is going to be there. Family's going to show up. The mother even said, I want to be there when I want them to see my face. I want them to see that we're not going anywhere, that we are going to seek justice for our son. Now, what's interesting is, I even reported it in my pop-up video about the police report that was recently released, the false, fake police report. And at the end of that police report, yes, they did say that the mother said something about maybe his drink was spiked or something like that. Now, they, of course, addressed that part of the police report, and she's saying that was taken out of context, and that could have been said in many different ways. She could have found out information from the police. The police could have given them broken it down and told her what they said as a lie to be what actually happened, their encounter with her son. And she probably took that in as scripture, because police are supposed to be truthful and are supposed to be abiding by the law that they enforce, right? And that's the problem here. We have a tendency to listen to cops and go, it's scripture. This is how it's supposed to be, because if that's what they say it's supposed to be, then that's what it's supposed to be. So then you hear from one of the officers, oh yeah, he went and did this and this and this. He ran away. He was sweating profusely, saying all these things, right? You hear all these different things. And your mother receiving that information, I guarantee you, she's sitting there going, well, that doesn't seem like him. Maybe somebody spiked his drink or something. I could see a mother saying something like that, because it would be like, that's so uncharacteristic of my son to be sweating profusely and attacking cops. That doesn't make sense. So when you receive that kind of information, you're like, oh, they must have slipped something in his drink, because that is not my son. That is not how my son is. But instead, they must have put something in his drink to use that as an excuse on why he was sweating profusely and irate, as they said in this police report. Pretty wild stuff, in my personal opinion. Pretty wild stuff. And of course, I could definitely see them sitting there and taking what's being said there, completely chopping it up and screwing it, flipping it on its end and making it sound like, oh, he was on fentanyl. That's the reason why he was this way, when he wasn't anything like that at all. You see it in the videos. You see all the videos. He is not out here acting a fool. He is not out here sweating profusely. He is not irate. He ran because he had a multitude of guys jumping on top of him. These guys turned into, these cops were not cops anymore. As soon as they started just gang rushing on this dude like that, they all turned into monsters. They turned into a mob. Period. Period, y'all. And the fact that they try to use that quote from the mother to try to make it seem like, oh, yeah, he was on drugs. Yeah, he was on chemicals for sure. Something was wrong with him is beyond me. You see that this guy's not hot. Like, you can see it. And they were trying to create a narrative right after. You hear it in all the videos, all the body cam. Oh, yeah, he was on something. He was on something. And then they all go, oh, yeah, he was. They were all trying to corroborate a ridiculous, fictitious, false narrative to justify why they used excessive force on this young man. It's disgusting. And what's really, really messed up, y'all, okay? One thing that's really, really interesting about this is that without that bird's eye view that we all saw, they could deny. They can deny. Why? Because of information like this. Now, there's been 2 other deputies that have been suspended. So it's 15 cops as a collective right now, if I'm doing the math correctly. 15 cops as a collective that are being investigated. Some have been incarcerated, or some have been indicted on charges. Some of them have been fired. Some of them have been suspended, but all of them are under investigation, and all are connected to the demise of this young man, Tyre Nichols. Now, here's something interesting as well. You have 2 deputies that were involved in this situation as well. They have been suspended because they didn't keep their body cameras on. Again, you see a situation where you have a mob of cops working together, and they all have an unspoken language and an unspoken understanding of how things go when they're on these streets. We saw countless times in these body cams where the body cams would just, fall off people's chests, fall on the ground, go into a grassy knoll. Some of them didn't even turn their cameras on, as we've already known. There are missing holes in this whole situation. But what's very interesting is that this is a collective. This is a full-on collective of understanding between cops. Within this department, maybe others, we don't know, but within this department alone, there's an understanding, y'all. And I'm telling you, this wasn't just a on the whim type of situation. I'm telling you right now, these kind of actions, these types of procedures where they turn off their cameras or they forget, to turn on their body cameras, these are things that have been ingrained into this department for a very, very long time. Either they have created these things just months ago, or they have already learned this from generations before them, teaching them how to finesse around the system so that they can do a little bit extra dirty, so on and so forth. But stuff like this, where you have deputies also getting suspended also getting put under investigation right now. All of them learned this from somewhere. And the funny thing is, we also have the top dog of them all, the top cop, Chief C.J. Davis, watching over all of this and allowing these types of procedures to maintain inside of this department. It's absolutely disgusting. But let's take a look at this, shall we? This will be quick. And please, guys, do not forget to hit that like button down below. Hit it. Make it scream out your name. Help me get the story out, because I know this is a conversation that a lot of people need to know about. So hit that like button down below. Hit it, crush it. Okay, and this is new information, by the way. And do not forget to hit that subscribe button, okay? You know your boy's working hard out here in these streets, all right, to give you the conversation, the stories that you need for the day. So crush that subscribe button if you haven't done that yet, all right? But let's look at this. 2 sheriff deputies have been suspended for 5 days for their role in the arrest of Tyre Nichols because they failed to keep their body cameras activated after they went to the location where Nichols had been attacked by 5. You could say more than just 5, but okay, we'll just say it for now. According to this article, 5 ex-Memphis police officers, officials said late Wednesday. So this is 2 days old, y'all. Shelby County Sheriff's Office deputies Jeremy Watkins and Jontavius Bowers each violated multiple policies after they reported to the location of Nichols' violent arrest on January 7th. Sheriff Floyd Bonner said in a statement. Nichols, of course, we already know, fled, okay? We already know what happened to him. Video released by the city showed several law enforcement officers standing around as Nichols struggled with serious injuries while he sat on the ground propped up against a police car. Nichols was taken to a hospital in an ambulance that left the location of this attack 27 minutes after emergency medical technicians arrived, authorities said. Now, we already know he passed 3 days later. The sheriff's office previously said 2 deputies who went to the scene after Tyree was attacked had been disciplined and were under investigation, but the county law enforcement office had not divulged further details, including their names and the actions they took or did not take. Reports released by the sheriff's office late Wednesday showed Bowers and Watkins were suspended for 5 days without pay for failing to keep their body cameras and in-car video turned on while they were at the arrest location. The deputies also did not notify dispatch or their supervisor, the reports showed. Watkins also did not report on his daily log that he went to the arrest location, according to reports. Bonner said, the sheriff's office does not believe that the deputies will face criminal charges. All right, so both officers that are right now on suspension for 5 days have been with this Shelby County since June of 2021. And both suspensions began on Wednesday. So you have them not turning on or turning off their body cam and their dash cam when they were at the arrest location. You have them not putting in proper reports, not writing out exactly what's needed to be said on what actually happened. So they're falsifying reports as well, leaving things out. And these guys are only getting suspended for five days. I'm sorry, if there's actual procedures, okay, if there's actual procedures that are implemented in this department that they have to abide by, that if you're falsifying documents, falsifying reports, that is also breaking laws. That's ridiculous. Okay? That's absolutely mind-blowing and ridiculous. But welcome, okay? Sorry, I'm just reading comments here. But welcome to this world where, like I said, this is not something that they just up and just did randomly. Oh, on this one particular situation? No, they've been doing this for a very, very long time. This is something that they learned for a very long time. Okay? For a very long time. And that's absolutely insane to me. This is something that has become, this is going on in all departments. I guarantee you. It may not be the popular thing in some departments, but it is a thing in a lot of police departments. Let's just say it out loud. Let's just call it like it is. We talked about Michael Corey Jenkins and what disturbing things happened to him. He was attacked by 6 police officers. They raided his home and did unthinkable things to this young man. Thank God this young man is still alive. Now he is seeking justice for what happened to him. These cops are running around and they're all becoming dirty Harrys. Why? They think that they're above the law. They think they're Judge Dredd. This is not how you police out here in these streets. And this is the reason why I keep saying, who is policing the police? Who is watching over the police properly to make sure, even the chief, to make sure that certain things don't go sour? You know, they say, oh, bad apples and such. Well, somebody got to make sure that this fruit basket doesn't get all rotten and it starts to affect everything else. You leave something alone for long enough, things start to get nasty. Things start to fester. And then people start bending the rules on policies and even laws. These 2 deputies should be fired. Obviously, maybe not having to catch a 2nd-degree M, but they most definitely should be catching some sort of charge. Maybe something smaller, because it sounds like their hands may not have had anything to do with the demise of this young man, but most definitely they should be catching a charge. All the cops that were involved, all 15, should be catching charges without a shadow of a doubt. We don't even need to think about it, y'all. Without a shadow of a doubt, they should be catching charges. There should be no argument there, in my personal opinion. Hold on one second, guys. Just want to make sure I got this going. And if you feel what I'm saying, be sure to hit that like button down below. All right? Hit it. Let's get it past 600 likes. That would really mean a lot. Now, there is something I do want to say really quick. Deviant Motives, he said YouTubers are having subscribers unsubscribe. You may want to remind people to check their subscriptions. YouTube's unsubscribe me from you and another person is haloing a lot. Yes, I do want to say that. Make sure that if you are watching this right now and you're like, I've been subscribed to you, bro. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, because yes, there has been a weird dip over the past, like, overnight. Actually, there has been some weird stuff going on, so please be sure that you are subscribed to my channel. And again, make sure you're hitting that notification bell as well, so that you know whenever I go live. Okay, because I think that that's some weird thing too. There's some weird thing going on with the subscription stuff and everything. So be sure to just check back and make sure you are subscribed. Okay. And thank you, Rosa. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay. Tracy, exactly. Maybe an accessory, right? Maybe an accessory. You never know. Okay. You never know. But these cops that just got suspended, they should be fired, in my personal opinion. Fired. I'm sorry. These are cops that are supposed to be pushing the law, right? They're supposed to sit there, and if you speed and you're speeding really bad, they're supposed to enforce the law. If you break the law, you get caught, you catch charges, period. You get a ticket, whatever it is. These are the same people that are going into their offices, their little desks, and filling out reports, falsifying information, falsifying reports. Especially reports when it has to do with the life that is taken from somebody. Are you sure you want those people back on the streets 5 days later? I don't want any person I don't want a cop that's out here that's not staying true. All right? I do not. Period. I don't want that. You can go somewhere with that mess. You can go somewhere. Bye. Like I've said before, the world needs more baristas. If you can't handle doing your own job, doing that one job, which is being truthful, filing reports properly and as honest as you can, enforcing the law when you need to enforce the law, protect and serve when you need to protect and serve, right? Then you should not have a badge on your chest, period. I said it. I said it. And unfortunately, there's a lot of cops out here that have done the same, if not worse, that are still on these streets right now as we speak, in all of our cities, all across this country, and probably across the world too. Plenty of dirty cops out there. Sorry to say it, but that is true. Them are the breaks. And it's terrible. It's terrible. But if you notice in that, real quick, before I forget this, if you notice in that press conference, and they were talking about the spiked drink, or there might be something in his drink, blah, blah, blah. Did you see that they were trying to find something? Okay. Did you see that they were trying to find something? Trying to find some excuse? Now, they haven't gotten the toxicology report back yet, but at the same time, as soon as they find out that there's like something in his system, maybe even a little bit of something, they're going to sit there and go, oh, that's the reason why he passed away. It's because of that. Not because a whole gang of just monsters just curb stomped him on the side of the road like he was nothing. They beat him like he owed them money. Let's not forget. Let's just totally forget that stuff. But see, that's the angle. If there is something in his toxicology report, which I pray to God that there isn't, I'm hoping that there's nothing. I'm hoping there's like Tylenol, right? And maybe caffeine from drinking a coffee or a Coke. That's what I'm hoping for, right? And 9 times out of 10, that might be the situation here, okay? But if there was something in his system, you know for a fact they're going to try to use this as an excuse on why he passed on. That one chemical. They're even going to say if it's THC, they're going to be like, oh, it's THC, so therefore he had a thing because, you know, they're going to try to find something, some BS. They're going to try to find some sort of BS. I just hope that his toxicology report comes back clean. So clean. Okay? Because you know for a fact they're going to sit there and go, oh, he was on psych meds or something, anything. He was on this, that, and the third. Oh, he was on Accutane, whatever the heck, for acne or something like that. They're going to be like, oh, you see, well, you know, the Accutane, that can really make people have some very severe psychosis if they take enough of it. Like, come on, y'all. What happened to this man happened to this man. It is unbelievable what happened to him, and it has nothing to do with the chemicals that were in his body, if there is even anything in his body. He went off to take photos of a sunset. I'd say at best, maybe some THC. And you cannot tell me that that's going to make somebody sweat profusely and become irate. But then you see in the body cam footage, it tells us something completely different, y'all. Completely different. Brenda Keel, thank you so much for the $10 super sticker. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so very much. But I'll be here for that when that when that toxicology report comes out, which will be soon. It'll be coming down the pipeline very, very soon. Okay? When that comes off, we'll talk about it. Raven McCall said the hospital already knows if there's anything there that should not have been. True. But then I wonder if they would be able to put that information out, right? If they were able to put that information out, right? But like I said, I don't know, man. Maybe alcohol was in his system. Maybe. He could have had a few drinks. Doesn't show him being irate in the videos. Doesn't show him attack the cops at all. He's not doing anything of that at all. Okay? So may this young man rest in peace, and I hope he gets the justice he deserves. They say that they are not, the trial's not going to, I guess, preliminary hearings, aren't going to start until May. So we'll see what happens here. But apparently there's something federal going on that might be getting involved in this situation. I don't know what that information is. Obviously, they just kind of hinted at that. At least Benjamin Crump did. So we'll see what happens here. But as time goes on, we're going to be finding out more and more information, okay, of what happened to him. And the toxicology report hopefully will come out very soon. We'll see what happens there as well, okay? But Natasha Basil just said, why did the cops take pics of Tyree? You know what, sweetheart? I wish I knew. Natasha. That I think that is the ongoing question that we are all wanting to know. And hopefully we find, well, I don't know if we're ever going to really find out the truth on that. And that's another piece. That's a whole other can of worms that I'm hoping that they open very, very soon. So anyway, guys, that is the show. I appreciate all y'all for being here, being a part of the conversation. It really does mean a lot. Okay? Without you guys, I'd be talking to a wall. Okay? So I appreciate all your energy and everything. I will be on a little bit later on today because I got some other stories for you guys and other topics to bring up and talk about. So we will be talking about some things very, very soon. So be on the lookout for that. Please be sure to hit that notification bell. If you hit the notification bell and it already says that it's been hit, maybe turn it off and turn it back on really, really quick, just to make sure it is there. Also, please be sure to crush that subscribe button. Check to make sure you've been subscribed, because I know that some people have been unsubscribed. Something weird's going on. So please go and hit that subscribe button again. That would really, really mean a lot. Or just at least go and double check, make sure that you are subscribed. Okay? And we're going to rock and roll here. All right. S-Dub, thank you so much. No, you rock. I appreciate it. I appreciate all y'all for being here. Okay. For all you new subscribers out here, thank you so much for hitting that subscribe button and all that. We are almost, we're getting through the 90s. Okay. We're marching our way towards 100,000 subscribers, y'all, which couldn't come fast enough. All right. I'm very excited. Okay. We're almost there. Yeah, Debbie, we are almost there. We're almost there. All right. So people just need to keep hitting that subscribe button and getting hip to this show. Okay. But anyway, guys, I appreciate all y'all for being here. It's been amazing chopping it up with you guys. I will be on a little bit later on today, so be on the lookout for that. Oh, also, I have this pop-up video that I did yesterday about Shabusiness. All right, Taylor Shabusiness, where she goes after her lawyer. Go check it out if you just need something lighthearted. And, well, the story is crazy, but if you're just looking for something a little bit lighter, definitely check out that recent pop-up video. That would be greatly appreciated. Okay, anyway, guys, it's time to get going. I appreciate all y'all. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys very soon. Be good to yourselves, be good to one another. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.